Sometimes you have to look back at where you started to realize how far you've come. I've been making videos for over 15 years, and today we're gonna dive into the archives and take a look at some of those old videos. Basically, I'm just gonna roast myself. So let's start with some videos from college. Hey, that's some good dance moves right there. That's right. Risky leaders. That's what we used to call ourselves in college. One of the many names we've called ourselves. So this music video was inspired by Superbad, the opening credits of that movie. So I edited all of this in Final Cut X or 10 or whatever you want to call it. Never really used it before. Just figured out how to key something and then just made this. A lot of our videos back then were made from like experiments pretty much, where we would find some trick like a green screen silhouette like this and make a video based off of it. So I didn't quite understand keying and masking yet. So you could see where I tried to cover up my mistakes, or I covered up my mistakes from a previous frame or something and I didn't carry it over. So every once in a while you'll see like I'm trying to cover up where I didn't mask this green screen with the background color. So I made this with my buddy Tai Wai, who was in episode 13 where we did the Castle Rock shootout. If you haven't seen that, it's up here. Click over there and watch that. So all this in the background is actually just a kaleidoscope effect of what's dancing in front. So I would manipulate it a little bit, but it's just the same thing repeated in the background and then just patterned around. So here is the clip from Superbad, which is very similar to what we did, right? And there's us on the dance. Just look how crappy this green screen, this is just a fabric. And we just threw this on the floor, taped it to the walls very poorly. And as we're dancing on it, you know it's moving around, so it wasn't that stable. That is ridiculous. As are those dance moves. We thought this video was so cool. We thought we were gonna go like viral with this. Of course we didn't. All right, what's next? Everyone's got these videos that they've made in the past that are just so terrible now. But back then, amazing. So the key effect we wanted to do with this video was where it's in slow motion, but your lips are still in sync with the song. And basically how you do that is you double speed the song as you're lip syncing, so it's actually super fast. And then you just play it in slow motion. So this was shot with a Canon T3i, which was a great camera back then, but now you look at it, a lot of it's out of focus. It's super grainy because we're shooting at night, no lights really. I don't know if there's a like signature shot from this video. Usually when I shoot a music video, you know, I can kind of at least get a sequence where it's like, that's pretty cool. This one's just kind of, eh. I did learn a lot from this video of, you know, retiming audio, retiming footage, and then how to poorly light something apparently. That's black and white because it was so grainy, which you'll see a lot of people do if the shot's just not quite where you want it to be, you just turn it black and white. Which is not what I did for the Kenny B music video, which is episode 2. Just click up here, you'll see it. I'm glad I've gotten at least a little better. Haven't gotten to be a better dancer though, that's for sure. So after I graduated, I wanted to make myself more hireable, so I taught myself After Effects by just watching YouTube tutorials, and I decided to make a portfolio video using After Effects completely, and it's pretty terrible. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Jason Long, and I'm a multimedia specialist. Growing up, I always loved creating things. But I ditched the Legos and plastic hammers after I got my first computer when I was 10. So instead of making stick figures on paper, I could do it on the computer. And for some reason that
clip art, dude.
I'm
not very great at graphic design, even though I have it on here. Look at this. I have graphic design, video editing, ad design, magazine design, photography. I mean, I did those things, but I wouldn't say I'm great at all of those things. Clearly, I'm not great at graphic design. Motion graphics, okay, I made one video, which you're watching.
Now I'm trying to get my professional start in the industry.
Look at
Keeping
this.
with my passion,
Ugh.
I like to use multimedia to cover the technology and video game
Ugh.
industries.
That's so bad. I thought that I would get hired like that when I made this video. So I used to shoot a lot of weddings with Tai Y, and I think we had a pretty distinct style. Let's take a look. This was a fun wedding. This was shot at the Strategic Air and Space Museum. 2016, baby. 3 years ago. So our style was pretty much, we had to have motion in every shot. And we had standard motions, push-ins, pull-outs, orbits, and all that stuff. But we wanted to create motion to draw the viewer in a little bit.
That first date at the coffee shop, nothing else had ever felt so right. And your smile is
So during the day, I mostly shot wide, and then Ty was on a tighter lens, so he shot a lot of these close-ups. We both shot during the wedding, so this was one of the first videos where our shots actually went well together. You know, it's hard to plan your movements. We're just doing random movements for the most part.
by your side.
Receptions are always kind of hard to shoot because they're really dark and you're just kind of running around hoping someone's doing something. But this was a pretty wild wedding.
Dressed in white.
So that's one of the 60 weddings we shot. So for our last video, let's look at something a little more recent that I shot at work. This is from a hiring campaign we had where it's based on this idea of people having stuck in your job syndrome, which we titled SIDGE, which is kind of sounds like a disease or an STD. So this video was made to look like a pharmaceutical ad where we have the cure, simple strats the cure, and I think we nailed it. Let's take a look.
My name is Brandon, and a couple years ago, I was diagnosed with SIDGE syndrome.
This is a simple story about taking your life back.
My motivation was at an all-time low. I struggled to get out of bed in the morning. The only time I was happy was Friday afternoons. I just didn't feel challenged with my work.
We cracked up so hard the first time we watched this edit.
And that's when I realized I might have the SIDGE.
SIDGE, more commonly known as stuck in your job syndrome, affects millions of people today. But some of those people have...
So one of the tropes with those kind of pharmaceutical videos is that they're just doing a bunch of random stuff mostly. So that's kind of what we did. Shot a mock interview, had him walk in and get coffee, took him to the grocery store. He's just grocery shopping, grabbing random stuff. We just walk through the grocery store and I'd be like, okay, Brandon, pick that up, look at it, do something stupid. The log of meat is so funny, dude.
I used to think there's nothing you could do, but I cured my SIDGE with Simple Strat.
It's time to fall in love with your job again. It's time for Simple Strat.
That was a fun video to work on because everyone in the office kind of got to touch it a little bit and work on it a little bit. And that doesn't always happen. And we are still hiring, by the way, so there's a link in the description if you guys want to check out what we're hiring for. All right, time to close the yearbook for the day, but if you guys like this video and want to see me break down even more videos, let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all my latest videos. I'm Jason Luong, the Video Ninja, and I'll see you next week.